What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, TV shows. If it's geeky, if it's nerdy, I love to talk about it right here. And I realize I haven't been uploading a whole lot lately. I've severely underestimated how much time, how much time and energy getting a master's degree takes. So I'm going to keep on uploading. I'm going to keep on, watching my shows, watching my movies, talking about them here. But it's going to be inconsistent, I'm afraid, for the time being. Just because it's been really hard finding time to pursue my hobbies. I'm a super small channel. I don't get paid for this. I got to make my priority my master's degree, where I'm actually going to be able to advance my career. So I'm going to keep on doing this. I'm going to keep on talking about stuff here, but it's going to be a little erratic, I think, until I get my master's degree. I'm supposed to finish up around May of 2021. So we're talking less than a year, but I've just got to keep plugging away at it and get this done. All right. So I'm sorry about that. I've actually had a few people message me now and say, "Hey, where's your uploads?" Well, I'm getting to them. That's the best I can say. Let's talk about Twilight Zone Season 2. So far, I've watched the first 2 episodes. I'm going to talk about episode 1 right here. Episode 1 is called Meet in the Middle. Oh, man. This was a great way to start Season 2. Let me turn this off real fast, see if I can get rid of some of this glare. There we go. This was a great way to start Season 2. It was just a really weird episode. And for a lot of the episode, Twilight Zone, lots of times it makes me feel kind of creeped out, right? It's supernatural, it's fiction, but the purpose of it is to make you feel creeped out. And for a lot of this episode, I didn't feel that way. It was almost like they was presenting it as some sort of romantic comedy, right? And that's what I think they were going for, was at the beginning of it, they didn't want you to feel like there was this horrible thing that was coming. They wanted you to feel like love was in the air. Because Phil and Annie, they start having a psychic connection where they can actually start talking to each other in their minds. And they live far apart. They've never met each other. They don't know who each other are. And it's not like they can read each other's thoughts, right? Phil can only read her thoughts when she's specifically thinking to him. She can only read his thoughts when he's specifically thinking to her. And they have this connection, and they start talking to each other, and they fall in love, and it's supposed to be, like I said, like this big romantic comedy type, maybe not a comedy, but like a What Women Want type show, or type episode, or What Men Want type episode, where they're having that kind of connection, and but it's the Twilight Zone. It's the Twilight Zone, so you know that it's going to be messed up. What happens? And ultimately what happens in this episode was incredibly messed up. And it threw me through such a loop because it got me twice. The first time, it got me. Like I don't want to give anything away. But there's a point when he's going to see her, they decided to meet, and he's going to see her. Something happens, and he finally finds her. And then you think that they present you with a reality. And the reality is not supernatural at all. The reality is that maybe he's just a crazy guy, right? But then they throw you through another loop, and they present you with this entirely different reality, and that reality is what actually happened. And oh my gosh, there is a manipulative he At one point in the show, near the end, one of the main characters is called a monster. What this main character did was monstrous, but it was also sympathetic. That's why the Twilight Zone is so layered. There's so much going on in the Twilight Zone, especially this modern incarnation of the Twilight Zone. There's just so much going on. So one of our main characters does something that's a little monstrous, but it was also a very sympathetic thing, and you understand, and you feel empathy, and you feel anger, you feel sadness, and all that happens in the span of an action that one of our main characters took. It was very, very complex and extremely engaging, extremely entertaining, but at the same time a little disheartening. And that's what is wonderful about the Twilight Zone, is you can feel so many emotions in one story. So yeah, guys, the first episode of season 2 knocked it out of the park. I thought it was wonderful. Who is the actor's name that played Phil? Let me see if I can look that up real fast. Jimmy Simpson. Jimmy Simpson, dude, knocked it out of the park, because this was his episode, right? This was his episode. Most of the time the camera is on him, and a lot of the times it's close up, where only his face is in the screen, and the emotions, the emoting that he does, and the facial, when he's got this inner monologue that you're listening to throughout the course of the episode, and his facial expressions are indicative of that inner monologue. It's perfect the way they synced it up, and he did such a good job with it. So yeah, I was really into his performance, and let's see, he was in Loser, he was in Herbie Fully Loaded, Zodiac, Date Night, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, White House Down. He doesn't have an incredibly impressive filmography. He's done a lot of stuff, but it's not incredibly impressive. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts getting a lot more opportunities after this. He did such a good job. So, anyways, the first episode was phenomenal. Can't wait to see more. I've already seen episode 2. I'm going to try to get that review up today. I didn't like episode 2 as much as I liked the first one. It was still really good, though. Yeah, off to a great start, Twilight Zone Season 2. What did you guys think of Twilight Zone Season 2, Episode 1? It's called Meet in the Middle. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for joining me right here at the LQ Review. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.